The best way I could describe this movie is that it seems to focus on being an action spy movie, more like a Mission Impossible, James Bond, Jason Bourne sort of movie, that it kind of forgets how to be a Jurassic Park or Jurassic World movie. That's sort of the best way I could describe this movie. How's it going, everybody? Welcome back to my channel, and today I'm here to finally review Jurassic World Dominion. I finally got a chance to see it last night. As you know, I was very excited for this movie, and I'm excited to talk to you about it today. This is going to be a non-spoiler review. I am planning on doing a spoiler review that should be out hopefully on Monday, but don't worry, there's going to be no spoilers in this. Anything that I reference that is in the movie, like directly, will have been in the trailer. So don't worry about spoilers here. If you're new here, be sure to hit the thumbs up button and subscribe to this channel and join our little community here. Now let's get into the review. So overall, unfortunately, I was quite disappointed by this movie. I was so excited for it, and I tried to check my expectations and go into this movie just gonna take in what they gave me and see if it worked, and for the most part it didn't, unfortunately. Now it does have things working for this movie, and I'll start with the positives. So first, the original cast is back, and that was great. It was definitely one of the strengths of this movie. Seeing those actors back, playing those characters, it was great. It definitely pulled at the nostalgia strings, but I thought it worked. It was great seeing them back. You know, I enjoy Chris Pratt and Bryce Dallas Howard, but those original characters and cast, that to me is Jurassic Park. So it's great seeing them back together. As well, there's some fun action scenes and scenes with the dinosaurs. There's a lot of suspenseful scenes, I thought, in the third act that I quite enjoyed with the dinosaurs. There's also a really fun action scene in the middle of this movie. You see parts of it in the trailer where these raptors are chasing them around and Chris Pratt's on the motorcycle. That scene was very good, I thought. I quite enjoyed it. And the performances were good. The visuals are good. Some of the animatronics in this were great, I thought. There's some good looking shots for sure. Yeah, that just about does it for the positives, unfortunately. So let's get into the negatives. So this movie is kind of a mess. It's got several plots, going on, and I found none of them to be interesting. I'm not going to go into spoilers what these plots are, but when I think about these plots, I'm like, if someone was to tell me what this plot was, not tell me what the movie was in, my mind would not go to Jurassic Park. These different plots feel like they belong in a different franchise, like a Mission Impossible or James Bond. I will get into them in my spoiler review, but I didn't really care for them all that much, especially the villain in this. The villain was just cartoony, and I thought the performance wasn't all that great from that actor. But yeah, that wasn't great. The movie started with this idea that was sort of built upon from the previous movie that I was there for. That's what I was thinking this movie was going to do, was going to focus on that idea, and I liked that idea, but it just drops it. And for these several other plots, which to me weren't as interesting, it sort of brings it back again at the end of the movie in the conclusion, which I was just sort of like, yeah, all right, that kind of answers that, but not really. Yeah, there's stuff in this I was kind of confused about. Like, I was like, how did this happen? Or isn't that still going to be a problem? But I may have missed something just seeing it one time. I'll not planning on rewatching it anytime soon. But so I may have missed some stuff, and that's why I'm a little confused. But yeah, those plots just weren't very interesting. I'm like, this doesn't feel like something you would do for the epic conclusion to this franchise. So I was just sort of surprised with the direction they took in this movie, and it just, I was like, really? This? I also have to say, some of the dialogue I thought was pretty bad in this. At times it just felt weird, like, who wrote that? And at times there was some dialogue that just felt unnecessary. There were moments like, okay, you didn't need to say anything, but they had them say something, and that what they said just felt off. It just didn't work for me. It was weird. There is a really fun and cool action, sort of more of a suspenseful scene at the end of the movie, in the final act when all the characters are together. That is a really good scene. It's with the new big predatory dinosaur. You see it in the trailer. That scene was great. I thought it was really good. And there are some fun moments with all the characters talking to each other. There's some good jokes from time to time, although a lot of them didn't work, but there are some good ones. And the new characters, for the most part, are pretty likable, I thought. But yeah, overall, this movie just set itself up to be something else and then changed course to be something completely different, where it feels like it belongs in a different franchise, more like a spy action franchise. And that just didn't work for me. If you like that sort of thing, you may have fun with this, and I hope people who see this do enjoy it. I unfortunately didn't, but I want people to enjoy this. I wish it worked for me. I was really excited for it. I'm really disappointed it's supposed to be the last of this franchise, so if it's going out on a low note, that's really sad. But for me, like, it does have some good parts. The original cast, there's some suspenseful scenes, some fun action scenes, and the cast all do a good job, I think. Some of the visuals are great, so there's some positives, but overall the main stories of this movie just weren't very interesting. They feel like they belong in a different movie or franchise, like a spy action franchise. As I've said, this movie just seemed to forget to be a Jurassic Park, a Jurassic World movie. That's sort of how I felt about it. So I'd give it a 50%. It's not awful. I don't think it's awful. It's watchable. It's just sort of disappointing and meh. At the end of the day, I just thought it was meh, which is not what I want from a Jurassic Park movie. So if you have seen this, let me know in the comments. Please try and keep your comments spoiler free, because some people may not have seen this yet, but I will have a spoiler review out on Monday, and we can all talk spoilers then. So until then, take care, everybody.